Hello everyone, today we will be learning about a new vulnerability called web cache deception. Web cache deception is a vulnerability that enables an attacker to trick a web cache into storing sensitive and dynamic content. Before moving on to the practical, let us first see what a web cache system is. So, whenever a user requests any data or a static content from an origin or a server, first, the request is sent to a web cache system. If the web cache has the data, it sends its response to the user, and if it does not have, it redirects this request to the website origin. So then the website origin processes the request and sends back the user via cache. The cache then stores the data in its system, and whenever any other user will request the same data, the cache is capable of showing the result to the user. Let us now see how are these web cache systems are implemented in the real world. So, web cache, there are distributed network of servers known as Content Delivery Network or CDN in short that work together to speed up the delivery of web content. These cache systems make websites work a lot faster than before and reduces a lot of load from the website origin servers. Now, let's see practically how web cache deception really works through a Portuguese exploiting path mapping for web cache deception vulnerability. I will pin the link for you in the description for this lab. So let's begin. So the lab says we must log into our account. It has given the username Wiener and Peter for this lab. So let's log in and see what the website shows us. The website shows an account with some private data of the user Venier and its API key. Let's move on to Burp Suite and capture and intercept the request to understand it better. Now, to get the real world experience of this vulnerability web cache deception, I'll be using exploiting path mapping for web cache deception lab from Portsfigure. So let's log in to this website first using the given credentials, which are Venier and Peter. So I will just log in. The page shows users' private information. For example, his username is Venier and his API key is also mentioned here. Let's move to the Burp Suite and open this link. Again, it shows the user Venier is logged in. Now let's go to the Burp Suite and intercept this request and refresh the page again. We will send it to the repeater and check if the response is getting cached. So let's click on send and we can clearly see there are no Xcache frame headers or cache control headers. So this content is for sure not getting cached. Now let's trick the cache system into storing this dynamic content. So we will again go to the website and add some random characters at the end of the path. Any random characters, and we will click on send. And after adding these random characters, this happens because of the flexibility in the framework used. Many frameworks are flexible to random characters. The web server knows the path to my account and it ignores any extra characters added at the end. So this can lead us to cache the responses that the cache system does not intend to cache. So we will add some static extensions at the end of this and then capture the request and see whether it is being cached or not. So let's first go to the Burp Suite and intercept this request and when it is then repeat it further. We have the request, I'll send it to the repeater and we will click on send. So the response is still not getting cached what if I add a static extension to this endpoint? Like .js, we can add .css also. Everything works. And you can see two new headers being introduced, cache control header and xcache header. Xcache header says it missed the cache, means the response is coming directly from the origin. It did not find the response from the cache system. That is pretty obvious that before this, the response was not on the cache system. The cache control header states max age equal to 30. That means the response is cached for only a short period of 30 seconds. Now let's send the request again. It again says xcache miss because we sent the request again after 30 seconds are over. Now let's send the request again and it says xcache hit. That means the response has come from the cache system this time. Now we know that this website is clearly caching anything, any dynamic content we wanted to cache. Now what if this link is sent to any victim? Let's see how this thing affects users. So, what if I cache this request onto something abc.js? Okay, this gets random. Now we'll go to an incognito tab. We need to be fast enough. And we can see the user VNS profile details without login. This means that user's data has been cached onto this path, and any user who will visit this path will be able to see user VNS profile info. Now let's use this to get API key of user Carlos. So let's go to the exploit server and we have to write a script here. First let's write, then I'll explain you how this script is working. Okay, let's see what is this script is doing. So in order to get the private information of user Carlos, we need him to visit this particular link so that his private information gets cached onto this particular URL. So we wrote a script tag and we published it on our website. Now, whenever the user will visit on our website, this particular command will make him visit on this URL and so his private information will be get stored on this abc.js. Now let's deliver this to victim and we will assume that the victim clicks on this link as soon as we send it. Now we will quickly copy this link and go to another tab and see we got the user Carlos API key. Now copy this API key, click on submit solution, paste this and click on OK and we solve the lab. I really hope that you understand this concept a lot more better now. Please subscribe to our channel and like and share the video. Thank you.